Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the Upscadan Joe PT, and for today what we have here is Kholat. So Kholat is a game developed by the IMGN Pro. I'm very sorry, this is hard to spell. And for the settings, well, this is going to be a disappointing for most of the people, like it was for me. But here we go. So the settings is I'm using the native resolution, but I'm using a resolution scaling of 50. This means that I'm pretty much using the game rendering at off resolution, despite the screen is displayed at its native one. So it's pretty much like we are playing at 380p or 360p with the minimum settings possible. And so without recording, this was the results that I got, and this is an average around the 30 frames per second. The 1% low, which is the minimum, it is around 24. So I used this first level that you are going to see right now when I put this graph away. I did use this level to benchmark because it's considerably more demanding than the second one, okay? And the second one, I think it's pretty much the main game, but okay. So the game spends most of its time between the 25 to 30 frames per second, so most of the time it runs below the 30s, okay? But barely got lower than 25 frames per second, so it's pretty much an experience between the 25 to 30 frames per second on this first level, and the second level it's a little bit less demanding. So if you have 4 GB of RAM, that is no problem for you, so you can play this game decently with 4 GB of RAM. There is no problem whatsoever with that. Okay, and so I will talk a little bit more about the game, because I think this performance is not truly that bad. What I think it's bad is playing with this resolution, but performance-wise I don't think that it's that bad, because I think this game is pretty much a walking simulator. I have been reading some reviews on Steam, and most of the people say that this is an horror walking simulator, but also there are reviews that claim that there are some enemies and these places like Outlast where you don't have any weapon to attack and you need to hide, which makes it curious, because the second level it is a little bit, you know, weird, because if enemies appears on the second level I have no idea where I can hide anyway, but you will see in a second. So if you are looking to the frame rate on the upper left corner, you pretty much are going to call me a liar, because I said that the game never dropped from the 24 frames per second, and you are seeing 22 frames on the overlay right now. This is because of OBS. OBS or any software recorder consumes frame rate. All those tests that I showed you earlier on the video, it was conducted without recording, and you are now getting the frame rate with the recording, okay? You need to take attention to that, okay? So regarding the game, I find it interesting that this game doesn't take us by the hand, in my opinion. So we are currently on the second level right now, and when I say this, it's because you are granted with a compass and a map and some coordinates where you need to go, okay, which is pretty interesting. But when you look to the map, it's not like all the other games where it points you an error where you are. As you can see, there is no error. You are just going to get points of interest when you catch up something or anything like it. Your character marks it on the map, and by those markers you can clearly see more and less where you are. So as you can see, the coordinates points to this thing with 4 stones, 5 in fact, 5 stones, and so I'm going to investigate and see what the hell happens or what the hell is in there. Okay, and I will conduct a little bit more of gameplay to the rest of the video. So with that, hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. I will just shut up for now, and I will leave the video on for you to enjoy the rest of it. I will just highlight some sequences to make it not too much bigger. So I want to say thank you first to all my subscribers, patrons, and especially for this video, for the developers and publishers of this game, which I think it's the same. I think this is an indie game. And so I want to say thank you to IMGN Pro for giving me a key for the game. I did request a key and they sent me out a key for the game, so the game seems really interesting. I will find the time to play and record gameplay for my other channel, which is the Grumpy Turtle. But for now, I just want to say thank you for all. Okay, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
first bodies by the pine trees. A makeshift campfire suggested.